Madam Oyediya Ogbonna Inem was born in the year 1934 to the family of Chief Ebitu Ukiwe of Eziyi Eru, Aboji, Abreba, and Madam Arobono Ebitu Ukiwe, Ni Arobono Mbono, a princess of Ndeagwu royal compound of Amogudu, Abreba. Her father, Chief Ebitu Ukiwe, was a colonial warrant chief of Old Bender Division who wielded enormous power and authority to such extent that he had a detention cell in his family house at Eziyi Eru. Madam Oyediya Inem was born at a period girl child education was considered inimical to proper upbringing of a girl child. It was when parents and family members played decisive roles in girl children's path to life. This included their education and marriage. Thus, when she got enrolled into the colonial school in the early 40s, her uncle, late Chief Okoji Kalu, went and withdrew her from the school as a protective measure. To him, he didn't want his beloved niece to get spoiled with Western education. Unfortunately, that erroneous belief and action left Mama in regrets much later in life. At a tender age of 17, through the recommendation of her uncle, late Chief Abai Abba, better known as Bob, she got married to late Agwu Kalu Ude, who died shortly after the birth of Chief Kalu Agwu Ude. As a young widow, she started faring for herself with active farming activities, owing to a lot of family lands made available to her. In line with the then dominant influence of uncles, Okwariku, late Chief Elanya Kalu Rami, got her married to his friend, late Chief Wojo Dimba Anama, a decision that was later upturned by her uncle, Chief Azu Owo, who preferred her to be married to Chief Ogbonna Inem, an enterprising young Abreba sea merchant. With Chief Inem, she found love, acceptance, and appreciation even in the polygamous setup. Mama was not only a loyal wife, but a supportive one. When her husband took her to Bamenda in the Cameroons before the war, she supported the family by running a weekend asusu, Abreba delicacy restaurant, where Abreba and the other Old Bender residents came to enjoy life. In 1966, she returned to Nigeria for the Okochi and was caught up with the civil war, resulting in her struggling with the children and her aged mother, Aromonu. She catered for the family at our refugee abode in Amuru, Abam. By 1972, she returned to Victoria in the Cameroon, where she had her last born, Oyediya. When her son entered Enuda High School in 1974, she returned to Nigeria to give him all the support. Either in Izu, urban areas, or in the village, she was very hardworking. She had a lot of farmlands. While staying in Aba, she was one of the outstanding textile distributors to many importers. She was an astute businesswoman and used to organize upfront deposits to importers, helping them in clearing and other logistics. She was a major distributor to companies like Aku International Nigeria Limited, Okam International Nigeria Limited, Hyson Almacins Limited, and many others. Her retail businesses grew to such extent that by the time she relocated to Abreba, she had more than 3 shops in Ekoha markets that were always filled with goods. On relocating to Abreba, she started stockfish distribution business and became a major customer to importers like Chief Okebulu Jumbo and Chief Ogbonna Inem. She became a major source of stockfish for retailers in the Old Bender area. Mama was a community women leader, an active member of the Erima H grade. During her reign as Ukejiabala, she led Abreba women for a protest, trekking to Umuahia for peace, which is the origin of the Abreba Women's Day that is now celebrated annually every November. She served the community meritoriously and was celebrated very well in December of 2000 during her Uche traditional retirement. After her traditional retirement, She embraced Christianity with the same enthusiasm she always deployed in any endeavor. She got baptized and confirmed at the St. Peter's Presbyterian Church, Ameke, Abreba. She was so dedicated to her Christian life that she was honored with the award of Ezinne by the St. Peter's Parish of Presbyterian Church, Ameke, Abreba. In 2014, she was diagnosed with a life-threatening spinal cord and lumbar vertebrae injury that culminated in a successful surgery. The ailment affected her kneecap and made her movements painful without support. That situation worried Mama as she found it difficult to come to terms with the reality of not moving around freely as a hardworking woman. A situation that was managed with love, care and adequate support up until 11 p.m. 15th February 2023 when she passed unto the eternal glory. May her noble and gentle soul rest in peace in our Lord's bosom. Amen. She is survived by retired Commodore Oko Ebitukiwe, brother, Chief Igwo Ebitukiwe, brother, Dr. Carlo Ebitukiwe, brother, Madam Oyediya Ogbonna Ni Mang Ebitukiwe, sister, Madam Neji Anyanso Ebitukiwe, sister, Chief Carlo Aguude, son, Chief Waka Inem, son, Mrs. Shamlar Abosi Ni Oyediya Inem, daughter, grandchildren, Rita Isaac Onwuka Ogba, Victor Carlo Agwo, Beta Echeme, Divine Carlo Agwo, Glory Carlo Agwo, Prince Carlo Agwo, Wojo Anama, Ndukwe Anama, Nnenna Anama, Abba Anama, Chichi Adama, Victor Anama, Jane Anama, Waka Anama, John Anama, Elizabeth Anama, Mrs. Nnenna Okoro Anyaso, Mr. Opie Elanya, Mrs. Urenna Mbolo, Mr. Odim Elanya, Mr. Ago Elanya, Miss Patience Elanya, Nnenna Waka Inem, Adaku Waka Inem, Ogbonna Waka Inem, Oko Waka Inem, Merit Johnson Abosi, Grace Johnson Abosi, Prince Johnson Abosi, great-grandchildren, Daniel Anyanso, Roslyn Nwokoro, Samuel Anyanso, Grace Anyanso, Ugo Mbaolo, John Ndukwo Anama, Winner Carlo David, Isaac Onwuka Ogba, Solomon Onwuka Ogba, Ugomma Isaac Onwuka Ogba, Master Kobi Chimde George Anama, Mr. Calvin Agwo Abosi, son-in-law, Mrs. Anne Carlo Agwo, daughter-in-law, Mrs. Oboyalo Anama Wojo, daughter-in-law, Mrs. Joanne Anna Wojo, daughter-in-law, Mrs. Ojenyi Anama Wojo, daughter-in-law, Mrs. Chidima Waka Inem, daughter-in-law, Mr. Francis Mbaolo, grandson-in-law, Mr. Isaac Onwuka Ogba, grandson-in-law, Mrs. Nneoma George Anama, granddaughter-in-law, Mr. Prince Echeme Ukebu, grandson-in-law, Prince Ejeke Osiri, nephew, Mrs. Obiarozi Ogba Eze, cousin, and Mrs. Obandu Urum Agwo, cousin.